Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons. We have a ton of content coming out for you guys every single week. We don't want you to miss a thing. Our usual shout out of appreciation to our patrons. All those tips and support are highly appreciated. It's only going to go towards making the channel better. We're hoping to add a lot more games to the channel, such as roulette, video keno, video poker, carnival games, things along those lines. We just want to do it right. It's going to be very expensive, so it's going to take some time. You could help us out if you wanted to. If not, no big deal. We appreciate you guys just tuning in. But if you're curious about it, go ahead and check the description down below this video on the patronage. And for our patrons, we do hope you are appreciating those patron-only exclusive videos we're putting out for you guys every single week. If you have anything you'd like to see, just email us on the site. We're more than happy to film it for you. As for the rest of you, please continue tuning in. We have, like I said, a ton of content coming out. And if you have any suggestions, questions, strategies, anything related to craps, baccarat, blackjack, pie gal, casinos, Vegas in general, just go ahead and shoot us an email at sincityliving@gmail.com. We absolutely love to shoot these videos for you guys. It is our favorite thing to do. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump into today's video. And for today's episode, it is going off of something that was sent to us by one of our fans. And it's simply a modification to the marching soldier strategy we showed you before. The marching soldier strategy is what I consider one of the more fun strategies. Very small initial bet, very small initial outlay. And can't even call it high risk because your initial outlay is so small. Now, it requires hitting a lot of numbers and in sequence, but so it doesn't pay out all that often. But when it does pay out, it pays you out, 50 times your actually more than that, 100 times your initial bet and then some. So it can pay you pretty well. All it has to do is just work out once, and it pays you pretty damn well. And one of our fans emailed us with just some modifications to it, so I thought I would take a look at it and show you guys what they are thinking. So how do they want to modify it? So, okay, starting out with, and we'll start with the 4, your $10 4. And if it hits, drop buck, parlay it all over to the 5, and then you keep marching it up. So what they say, the very first thing they say is, throw in that $1, march it up, but then throw in another $10. And gotcha. Okay, so this is interesting because it gives you a couple of options. There's a couple of things you can do here. Option number 1, what they are saying is, if it hits, you throw in another $1 and you take the whole thing up to the 5. Okay, I can see that. Or the other option to it is you throw in a $1 to get paid for your 20 and just stack just that payment. Keep the 4 there, and if it hits, you're always adding it to wherever your soldier has marched to. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. You're just continuing to increase your soldier's march when it happens to hit, so your ultimate payout can be even higher. Because as we've shown you, $10 can end up paying you $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. Actually, I think it's $1,600 or $1,700. So if you add $10, especially if you add it early on, your ultimate payout can be much higher. I can see that, and I like that. It makes sense. In fact, I would probably do that. If my soldier had not marched on from the 5 yet, if he was still sitting on the 5 and that 4 hit, instead of moving it all over, I would probably just put the payout over there, make it a $50 5. And say the 4 hits again before the 5 has marched on, I would probably still do the same thing. Now, let's say it has marched on. Let's say you did that, right? So then you got paid your 70. And it's marched on, and you've got $120 6. And now let's say the 4 rolls again. What I would probably do, and this is just me, is I would probably march it and then put another $10 four down. Now your outlay is getting higher, so it's no longer a micro bankroll strategy. You're definitely putting out more of an outlay. At this point, I have a $33 outlay. My dollars I've thrown in plus three $10 fours. But I do like the idea of possibly having multiple soldiers marching along. Because if this hits, what am I sitting on here? Probably going to go with, what did I say, 240? Probably going to go with 240. Collect the 20. Now, and if this 4 were to hit, I'd probably stack it up here or on the 5. But now let's say the 5 marches on, which can happen. And then the 4 hits. I would throw in another $1, march it on, put another soldier out. Why not? Why not? Like this I'll be honest, I love this. I absolutely love this. The marching soldier to me looked like something that'd just be amusing to play, and I 100% intend to play this just for fun. Just do it micro bankroll, just buy in for $100, $200 and give it a shot. But I would probably do this. Why not have multiple soldiers marching on? Why not? It could be fun. Not to mention, what you could do, like in a situation like this, is you could keep marching this, and you could just same bet these guys to get you more rolls. Instead of marching these guys on, just same bet them. Just keep same betting them, and just let your main guy march on. If he hits the end, then you march the next one. Then you keep marching. But you could even same bet, because if this hits, the $60 6, if that hits, you collect $70. You collect 7 more soldiers. I mean, I'll be honest, I absolutely love this. This is a really cool modification to the marching soldier. And like we said, it can potentially give you a much higher payout down here if you just added even one $10 pay, even one $20 bet to the. And I paid that wrong, by the way. This pays 42, so this would be even higher, but because it'd be 72. But you can keep adding to it. If you keep adding, the payout over here on this end is so much higher. It's really, really sweet. And another option would be, this one's pretty cool too, is again a slightly higher initial outlay, but you put 2 soldiers out. Put 2 soldiers out, and of course you throw in your dollars to march them up. If they march up, if they march up, but then march them back, come in and then come out. So that way, maybe this one's over here, but this one's already hit. Yeah, if a 6 rolls, you're like, son of a bitch. But, if the 8 rolls, then you march it back the other way. If the 9 were to roll, you just march it back the other way. Why not? You can certainly go up and down. The only drawback to this one, and they mentioned this in the email, is if you are doing the throwing another $10 down, is you could get confused on which direction you're marching. If something hits, could forget which way you were going, especially if you're actually traveling this one as well. If you keep having these guys travel, and then you could end up bumping into the same bet, or forgetting which direction you are traveling. You could also even modify this. They don't mention this in the email, but you could certainly modify this to where, and I'm going to stop paying these out. I'm just going to visually show you guys where they can move, but. Perhaps you start out like this, and you march up. Perhaps you march in 2 different directions. Yes, there's a point where you're going to stack. There's a point where you're going to hit in the same spot. Okay, but you should know what you're getting paid at any particular spot. So you know that from the 9 you would go to a $72 8. So if this goes over here and they stack and then you get paid here,
you would say, give me a $72 8 and put the rest on the 10 or something along those lines. So you still continue with your march in two different directions. I just can't stress it enough. I really like these modifications. I really, really do. The Marching Soldier is just a goofy little fun strategy that could pay you out really, really well. Like, you could actually make quite a bit of money off of the Marching Soldier. And these little modifications just add more to it, just make it more fun. It makes it more exciting. And I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. I really appreciate you sending this to me. This is a lot of fun. And well, I hope all the rest of you guys find this interesting and amusing and fun. Thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate every single one of you guys. We'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.